Hello there and welcome to Eye on the Money, the television show that gives you insights into how to improve your financial well-being as well as make your money work for you. I'm Ingrid Nantege. On today's show, we discuss how insurance can help you stay afloat amidst all the uncertainty associated with the pandemic. Now, the COVID-19 pandemic is having a huge impact worldwide on people's lives, families, and communities. For Kenya's insurance industry, the fallout from the pandemic is likely to result in an increased number of health, travel, and business interruption claims, coupled with reduced sales volumes and fewer face-to-face interactions with customers. At the same time, COVID-19 could also be a turning point for the insurance industry and enable insurers to demonstrate their purpose and value to society. In line with this, the insurance industry in the country has innovated and responded in line with the current realities to address the needs of not just individuals, but businesses as well. Joining me on the show to discuss the role of insurance, particularly now that the country is experiencing the third wave of the COVID-19 pandemic, is Davis Ongiro, General Manager, Octagon Insurance Brokers Limited. Davis, we're very happy to have you back on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for making time.
Thank you.
So we're here to talk about insurance, particularly now amidst the COVID-19 pandemic. But before we even get into your role within the pandemic, what sort of relief you're offering, I would like you to give us a general overview of the sector. And I ask this because usually we'll see crises and unforeseen events lead to people taking action. So have we seen more people leaning towards taking out more insurance covers, or would you say the industry, just like many others out there, has also taken a really heavy beating from the pandemic?
Thanks once again for having me. We're living in strange times. Of all the ages, these are very strange times. We have cash flows have already shrinked. Organizations are struggling. Most of them have closed businesses. Some of them have completely changed the way they work. Now you'll find people are working more from home than from their office. I'll give you an example. Like now you'll find some organizations have already reduced the space which they used to occupy, the physical space, because now they can go have people work from home, so they also reduce on the cost. Apparently also now on insurance, there are some organizations that have invested more in insurance. There are some, but where the catch is, Ingrid, is there is a lot of willingness. There is a lot of anxiety in the market. But we don't see the people having as much cash flow as possible so that to be able to afford very decent insurance covers as per se. So I think there is a lot of willingness in the market. The only issue is the capability because of the shrinked revenues for most organizations. But going forward, and I think post-COVID, it will be completely a game changer. Remember, on the insurance penetration at the moment is below 3% countrywide. If things go this way, and especially I saw in medical insurance where now we have seen more people coming in, suddenly people are realizing, oh, I can't afford medical bills by myself. I need to get a medical cover. So we've seen that trend going on, but I am very optimistic after the pandemic, hoping that there will be an after pandemic. I'm sure things will be well, especially for the sector. Yeah.
Right. And there will be an after pandemic. We can't live
very
like this.
prayerful.
Let's stay hopeful. Now, Davis, I really would like to dwell on the fact that you've talked about the willingness out there in the market, but maybe the biggest problem is the fact that people's revenues have shrunk and they're not capable. However, if you're to talk to someone out there who's maybe again has been affected by the pandemic and is struggling to realize, why should I take out insurance? Because at the end of the day, it all comes down to priorities. Even with shrunk revenue, why would you say now more than ever is that an opportune time for people to take out insurance?
There is something for everyone, always. Yeah. So we have, and you'll realize most insurance companies are now being a bit more innovative, a bit flexible in terms of especially pricing and also benefits in resonance with what is also going on in the market, because the insurers, they are not strangers to what is happening in the market. So there are some products whose premiums have been reduced. And in a way, some benefits are also better. But the industry has also come up with some sort of, not necessarily very new products, but a conglomerate of combined solutions. You'll find more than ever before, organizations now want a one-stop shop. I go for a combined solution which has group life assurance, which has group personal accident, covers you all perils in the office and all that. So I think if there is a better time to buy insurance is now, because then you will find there are more innovative products that are in the market and with very good pricing, but even with superior benefits.
Brilliant. And Davis, even as you talk about innovations, now there's just so much out there for a consumer to pick up on. Personally, when I'm even looking at insurance covers, I'm usually so confused because there's so much out there, right? So usually it's difficult to place, oh, how am I going to get this? How do I get a merger of these two? So even as we talk about insurance companies are putting so much more out there when it comes to innovation, if you're to pinpoint, right? For example, if you're looking at an SME owner for businesses, because we know the kind of hit they've taken right now, what would you say some of the products that are out there, what would you recommend? And you can also speak particularly for Octagon.
Okay, thanks. Very good question. There are two ways to look at the products. There is one that will directly benefit the organization, and there is then that one that directly affects the employee. Right. Let me start with the ones that directly affect the organization. So, okay, as we understand, pandemics are usually not covered in insurance.
Yes.
So what happens is you'll not necessarily find a cover that is able to take care of the pandemic, but when there is a pandemic, doesn't mean that all other perils will stop happening. You will not stop having fire. You will not stop having theft, the burglary and all that. Those risks will still remain there. My advice to especially organizations is we try to come up with to find out something that can always be able to cover you so that you don't have adverse losses, especially when you have an insured risk happening. Right. Putting in mind you have shrunk revenues from the other side because of COVID, and then you have risks happening, I'll easily and very quickly advise organizations that it is time you check out which is this product that I can be able to cover to avoid my business from getting too much interruption when in case of anything happens. Then secondly, on the employee part, one thing, there is a cover that every organization must have. It's called WIBA. Every employee must have. Must be covered on WIBA. And most organizations usually take it so lightly. But wait until now, when we have pandemics, somebody will come here and say, come to the organization and say, I got COVID from the workplace while I was working, so I'm entitled to compensation. So if you notice that COVID now, treating COVID will cost you almost $1 million, between 600,000 and 1 million. That is not cash you had easily budgeted for. But on the other side, you could have spent about 100 or 150 to cover the same employee against the benefit of WIBA, so that instead of you taking care of that risk from your cash flows, you are able to forward that risk to the insurance company. So we have that, and as an organization, we also have products that are able to be tailored for employees, tailored for the organizations. We have a medical cover. And these medical covers can be able to take care of employees. We even have a last expense cover that just in case worst gets to worst, that you lose someone, it's not you as an organization to start telling your employees, oh, please create a WhatsApp group quickly, let's fundraise for someone. You tell us, the insurance company, that can you pay this claim? Then we pay. And you'll find that this cover also covers even the parents and the parents-in-law to your employees. So all you are trying to do is you're making sure that your employees have are not only sure of their salaries, but they are also sure that they have peace of mind in case of anything. Last one, and maybe Ingrid, probably this is not very common, is that there are some insurance covers where you can even be able to cover against loss of your job, loss of income.
Oh, wow.
So just in case you're losing your job, the insurance company takes up and pays you for like 6 months or like 12 months, depending on the agreement you had with them. So there are so many opportunities, there are so many products that we have out there that can be able to be customized for you as an organization, for you as an employee, for you as an individual, even for your parents and your parents-in-law, everyone within your family. There is something.
And Davis, you've actually brought out the like even just talking to you right now, there's a lot of, you know, products out there that I didn't know about. And I know this is not even just select to me. So as someone who's out there shopping for insurance, what should I think about when I go there to talk to maybe my broker? What should the conversation be like? And how do people access all this info? What am I looking out for?
Okay. I usually, Ingrid, when I usually advise any organization, I tell that the best thing about insurance is not even the product itself. It is you having somebody who works with you, who is able. The insurance contracts have what we call fine print language there, which you as an individual or you as an organization might not have a lot of time, might not have a lot of resources to be able to interpret. You need somebody who works with you carefully, not necessarily interested in your money or your premium so they can be paid commission very quickly and disappear, but somebody who works you from the onboarding process, the servicing process, including managing your claims, managing your premiums, managing your renewal process, and all that. So my advice has been and will be always that get somebody who is a good broker. Get somebody who understands the industry very well, who understands how businesses operate, who understands the needs of organizations. So when they work with you, you are able to get the best product. Let me tell you, a very quick example is you find there most organizations have what we call a GLA, a group life benefit. But did you know that you can be able to negotiate further out of that group life and the GPA combined have something like a maternity allowance benefit, for example? If for lack of another example is if Ingrid is pregnant, for example, once she gives birth, some insurance policies can be able to give you an extra month's salary. Out of the 3 months you have been out, the insurance company also comes and rewards you with an extra salary for an extra month. That also happens for those in paternity as well. So it's completely an exciting thing when you have the correct person to work with you so that you negotiate very good benefits, negotiate good premiums, and always let's avoid the scenario where as organizations the first thing we look at is premiums. Let's look at more of what are the benefits and how can I be able to negotiate further even with the small premium I have so that I'm able to get the best of the best benefits that I can always get from my insurance company.
Brilliant. Davis, and I'm so glad you've brought on now the aspect of having on board someone to handhold you, to help you read that fine print, because I've realized when it comes to, you know, putting in claims and just trying to, a lot of people don't read the fine print. We're going to carry on with that discussion a little longer, but at this very point, I think it's a good time to take a break. We'll be right back. And remember, you can also be a part of the conversation by sending your feedback to our social media handles at Metropol TV KE on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We'll be right back.